For decades, the residents of the Flower Mound, Texas area have driven by a ranch-style farm home and some land at the corner of Quail Run Road and Flower Mound Road, also known as FM 3040. In 2015, the developer purchased the house and land to build a residential subdivision. It was during the later demolition of the ranch house that the developer realized that he needed to tell someone about what he had found. Encased within the walls of the modern-looking ranch home were the original walls of a mid-1800s log home. This structure dated back to the famous Peters Colony of the Republic of Texas in the mid-1800s. This property has since been donated to the town of Flower Mound and is preserved as a historical site. One can now visit and view the perfectly preserved original log home as well as other 19th century construction and additions.
And they moved here from Platte County, Missouri, and they were part of this Peters Colony settlement. Yeah, they were originally in Tennessee, then they were in Missouri, and then they came as part of this Peters Colony. So this was like the Peters Colony land grant from like 1841, where it was trying to colonize the Republic of Texas. So it was right before we became a state. And so as part of this, it turns out it was 17,000 square miles that was actually part of this Peters Colony land grant. And so to get people to come here, they came from Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, but the Gibsons came from Missouri. They were given 640 acres of land, and if you were a single man, you were given 320. And part of the deal, if you will, if they came and got this land, they had to build a structure on it, and they had to improve the land. And part of that was the structures were about 16 by 16. So that's when they found this house in 2015, when Curtis Grant, when he was going to be developing the area, and they cut into this wall right here, cut into this wall, and this is what they found. And so when they looked at that, they said, hey, wait a minute, I think we found something, we might be stumbling on something here. That's when he called the Denton County Office of History and Culture, talked to them, and said, this is what we got. And she talked to Peggy Riddle and said, hey, how big is the room that you're in? He said, about 16 by 16. And that's when they realized there was a historical significance to this. And so then that's when they got the University of Arkansas dendrochronology geologist there who did tree ring dating. And it was amazing, they had years and years of these were post-oaks, and they had years and years of history of dating the trees. And so they were able to do the tree ring dating and find that these logs were cut down between 1857 and 1860. So that's likely the age of the trees. So then the house is likely constructed between 1860 and 1860. So the Gibson family came in 1844. So they probably lived in a temporary structure somewhere. And then built this house around probably 1860 or 1861. You can tell the difference too, several significant differences. The floors, for one. So these have the wood floors, which you can see in this cut out here. It had a wood floor. A cabin would have had more like a dirt floor. A cabin was probably more temporary structure. So when you see these notches, you can tell these hewn logs, chinks in them. Whereas a log cabin probably would have been done a lot quicker. You might still see mark on shadow that runs down here. And you can see all those notches, which likely would have been where the stairs were. Because it was typical for log houses that the loft was built on the side where the fireplace was. And then you can kind of see how it went up. You can still see that. That is the original fireplace too. You can see that's the photo of the big yellow house in 2015. And this was all covered up. But yet, the fireplace, you can see it on the outside. So there was a fireplace at one point, and they left it on the outside. So it's kind of interesting. This is what they found when they started getting into all the walls. So the original structure, as you can tell by this, pretty badly damaged. So in order to maintain historical integrity, they couldn't rebuild it. The architects looked at it, couldn't rebuild it back to this. Nope, they are the people that lived here. This is part of like the Gibson family, and I think it's an older daughter there. And then This is the curb mainly on the wall here, so they're like, we can fix that's the board curb, and his wife, and they're like the ones who added this one, these beds. And she had asked about donating them, because she's like, my kid, she has 2 sons, and she said, my sons are just gonna throw this away when I'm gone. And so this chandelier was donated as well, and it was an oil burning, and then now I obviously updated to the electric, but that was donated by someone as well. This is what I think is cool. You look at this, and you can really see it, and it's the walls well outside of how they work together, especially when you clean it. So you can see the chinking in there.
Now, this is going to be, what kind of time period from that one to say this was probably?
Yeah, this is probably 1860, and this is probably 1890s to early 1900s.
That's why we can see a little bit different construction maybe.
Yes, because look, you can see it here where we went from a log to now we're in the, yes, as a kid.
Wow, we all had one of these.
Well, I just remember my grandmother calling it an icebox.
Yeah, I know my parents. Yeah, go get somebody else.
Yes, yes, so, yeah. And that's how she said when I was growing up, that in the winter, they would freeze the water, they make their ice blocks, and they would bury them.
Yeah.
So they would bury them and put straw.
Yeah, they would hang all over and stuff, and they make these giant hay safes, and they would do it, and they would try to make it so it lasts through the summer, that there'd be some ice, you know?